Hello, my friends. Glad you're back. Today I'm doing a book tag. Let's go. So I was tagged by my good friend Chris over at Chris Reviews, and I am doing the birth year book tag. This is based around questions about the year I was born. And I was born in the year 1975. So I'm an older guy. I'm kicking it here with the youngins on BookTube. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this book tag, and here we go. The first question is: have you read any books published in the year you were born? I have. If so, what is your favorite and why? Well, it turns out that I've only actually read one book from the year I was born, and that is Salem's Lot. I recently read that actually back in November. It's a Stephen King book. I absolutely loved it. It is actually my favorite Stephen King book that I've read, even more than The Dark Tower. And you guys know how much I love The Dark Tower. So, and it just so happens that Salem's Lot was released in the year that I was born in '75. So that's really cool. It's just funny how it worked out that way. Do you have any other favorites? Well, yeah, because I don't, because I haven't read any other books from 1975. And if you haven't read any birth year books, which ones do you pledge to read in the next 6 months and why? Well, it doesn't matter because I have read one of my birth year books. So I'm just going to leave it there. Have you read any books published in the year you turned 18? And if so, what is your favorite and why? I have read several books that were published in the year I turned 18. And for those of you who don't want to have to do the math, that is 1993. That is the year I turned 18. And I have read 3 books I found out that were published in the year 1993. One is Men at Arms. It's the second book in the Guards series, which is part of the larger Discworld universe by Terry Pratchett. I read The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. That is the first book in the Witcher series. Now, technically, that one was originally published in 1993 in Polish. I believe it was published in English in 2001. So, I'm kind of cheating there a little bit, but it was originally published in 1993. So, we're going with it. And the other book that was published in 1993 was The Giver. And I read that several years back, so I didn't really like The Giver that much. I mean, I liked it pretty well up until the very end. I didn't really care for the ending. I thought it was kind of lame, honestly. But the rest of the book was good. I do love Men at Arms. It's a great book, but I would have to go with The Last Wish on this one. That is probably my favorite of the books that I read that were released in 1993. Of the last 10 books you read, how many were published before you were born? What were they? And do you prefer them to newer books? Well, this question actually doesn't apply because the last 10 books that I read were all newer books. They've all been published since I was born. So that question doesn't count, unfortunately. But number 4, what's your favorite movie from your birth year and why? So I did do a little research on this ahead of time because I had to look up popular movies from the year I was born because I didn't know. I don't really keep track of what year movies were released. So apparently Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown was released in 1975. Monty Python and the Holy Grail was released in 1975. And The Apple Dumpling Gang was released in 1975. Now, I remember as a kid watching The Apple Dumpling Gang over and over and over again. It stars Don Knotts, and I think Tim Conway's in it too. Uh, and I remember it being a fun movie. I would not say it's my favorite though, because I mean it was apparently a favorite of mine as a kid, but I have no desire to watch it now, so I wouldn't call it a favorite. But it's yeah, it's a fun movie. I did love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I mean, who doesn't love Monty Python? I mean, Monty Python's great. I'm not dead yet. I'm getting better. I think I can walk. You're dead. I just love it. Bring forth the shrubbery. Sorry, you're getting me off of Monty Python stuff now. So, yeah, love Monty Python. But I think that I have to say my favorite of these is Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown. I will always be an uber fan of Charlie Brown. I just, Charlie Brown and the Peanuts Gang is always loads of fun for me. I can't get enough of it. So I would have to say that is my favorite of these that were released in my birth year in 1975. Let's do the final question. What's your favorite movie from the year you turned 18 and why? And oh goodness, guys, this is a tough one. So many good movies came out in 1993. I almost can't decide. I'm going to read you off a list of movies that came out in 1993 that have been absolutely phenomenal movies for me. So here they are. Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. Cool Runnings. The Jamaican Bobsled Team. I mean, come on, guys. Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. The Pelican Brief. The Three Musketeers. Disney's Three Musketeers, I should say. The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. Schindler's List. In the Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood. Hard Target with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Jurassic Park. And The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, how do you choose among those? Please tell me. How am I supposed to choose? There's so many good ones there. So I did something that is probably again cheating, but I'm picking two. I can't choose between these two. I can maybe choose these over the rest of them, but I have to choose these two. And that would be Demolition Man. Is an absolutely phenomenal movie. Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone. It's just absolutely hilarious. Sylvester Stallone is a cop, and he's trying to track down Wesley Snipes for all the crimes he's committed, and then he gets framed for a crime and gets put into cryogenic freeze. He's revived, like, who knows, probably 200 or 300 years later, and the whole world has changed, and he's learned how to knit while in cryogenic freeze. It's just mind-bogglingly funny. It is a movie that I have watched over and over again. I've probably seen it 10, 15 times at least. Great movie. And then Cool Runnings is another one. I probably watched that at least 5 to 8 times. Maybe not as many as Demolition Man. So I guess we'll say Demolition Man is my most favorite. But Cool Runnings is a phenomenal movie. I love the humor. I love the heartwarming story of these guys from Jamaica who try to make it big in the Olympics, in the bobsled competition, and just a phenomenal movie. I just love the movie. I really do. So it's hard to choose between those two, so I'm not going to. And that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below of my answers to this tag. And thank you to Chris for tagging me in the video. Now, I guess I need to tag a few people. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tag Dan over at Treebeard's Book Reviews. I don't think he's probably done it. And he doesn't do a whole lot of tags, but I'm going to tag him anyway. I'm going to tag Bryce over at Shelf Centered. I'm going to tag Ola over at Wild Witch. And I am going to tag Joanna from Joanna. So that's it, guys. Make sure that you are reading more books. I'll talk to you soon.